I thought that a concept like this would grow so big.
Somebody do a QC on them fries.
We need to evolve it a little bit, but then I want the brand story to come to life.
You in my house. You in the house that Reese built. I got BET in the house that Reese built. Come on now.
No matter the field, Black women set the standard for excellence in every way. From the boardroom to the boxing ring, we elevate the game when times get tough. Tonight, we will hear from lady entrepreneurs who made a way out of no way and get a glimpse at the CEOs who are doing it best right here on About Her Business.
When I think about when Nicole first kind of got on my radar, it was actually prior to her starting Necole. She had a blog previous to that. She was living in Atlanta, I was living in Atlanta, and she was one of the blogs that was the first to kind of unashamedly deal with pop culture topics of the moment. She got a lot of popularity around that. I got a chance to meet her. I saw her work ethic very early on. Then when she pivoted to Necole, she started a brand that was much more aspirational, much more inspirational. And so for me, I said, this is a brand that aligns with the types of things that I'm doing in my business. And I was looking for someone that I could invest in, that I could see real growth and potential for the future, and that was Nicole.
Necole is definitely a Black woman's guide to living your best life. I'm telling you, you read Necole for a day, you're gonna leave your relationship. You're gonna probably change your friend circle up. You might leave your job, but you're gonna realize that a lot of things in your life are no longer serving you. You've outgrown them. My name is Nicole Kane, and I am the founder of xonecole.com. My claim to fame is that I found the celebrity gossip blog, NicoleBitchie.com, and I started that site in 2008. I think I was in a very low space in my life. I had lost my parents, I didn't have a job, and I was also in my late 20s. So I felt like life really had passed me by, and I kind of missed my opportunity to be someone. I wanted to work in the entertainment industry in some capacity. I applied to be Diddy's assistant, Tyra Banks' assistant, and I would always get called in for the job interview because I knew how to make my resume look great. I just didn't know how to sell myself once I got the interview. Well, after about maybe the 15th no, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I said, I'm not sending out another resume. If someone wants me to work for them, they're gonna have to find me. And then my money ran out. And I ended up moving home to the Eastern Shore. And that's where NicoleBitchie.com was born. I think as the brand started growing, you know, it's the rappers and your name is being dropped on message boards. It's just so much negativity. I crossed over into my 30s, and I feel like when you cross to your 30s and you become a totally different person, you start seeking purpose, you start thinking about legacy. Life was about protecting my energy, protecting my space. I could not protect my space writing about negativity every day. And I was like, okay, I gotta find a way to walk away from this. I knew that I was going to try to transition over into a women's lifestyle site. I really wanted a lifestyle site that felt like a magazine for women to go to and read relatable stories. I launched Necole August 26, 2015. And I felt if I jumped into something really quick and switched the site over really quick, that everyone would stay. And that's just not the reality. You know, reading the comment section of Nicole Bitchie over the years, I knew those women deserved more out of my website and out of the content. So I sold my website to Will Packer in 2017. It was the scariest moment in my life going through acquisition because you're selling your brand. And you don't know if the new person is gonna come in and try to change the heart and the spirit of the brand. So I was terrified. I was just like, okay, it's time for me to show them why they invested in me. We decided to launch Elevate Her to represent the career section of our website. We added panels and live art installation. And when I say Atlanta brought the magic, I remember walking out and seeing the energy of all the women in the building, and I just started crying. I was so emotional. I've never seen this type of sisterly energy in one space like this before. Elevate Her is over. I want to transition over into video. That's where I want my focus to be. I think with any transition in life, you can't take everybody with you because not everybody is ready to elevate. I didn't realize that at first. You know, as followers started falling off, I'm like, well, where is everybody going? But those followers dropped off so the right ones hopped on. We built that energy at EXO. It's very sisterhood, you know, very Black girl magic. I think the greatest way to find yourself is for people to strip you of everything that you thought you knew about yourself. I got stripped of everything that once validated who I was. And when I got stripped of those things, I looked in the mirror and I didn't even know who I was anymore. When I look back at my life, being homeless, being broke, not knowing where the next check was coming from, losing my parents, I feel incredibly grateful for like where I am in life.
You know what, in American business, it is so rare that you will have a company that is owned by a person of color, especially a Black-owned business, that is then acquired by another Black person. That just doesn't happen very often. And so sometimes you have to just take a step back and realize how historic, how monumental, how important it is, these transactions that we're a part of. So the fact that there was a Black brother who was able to support a Black sister, who had a business, had a vision, had a dream, and needed that resource, needed that jet fuel, if you will, for her to then take her business to the next level. By that cycle, that's the positive cycle that we want to get going. That's how we will be able to take our community to the next level.
I went over to, you know, my trainer. I was like, okay, now what? He's like, oh, I gotta train that bitch. All right, fine. Go over there and get your fat ass on the treadmill. I was like, oh, damn. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is what it is. So from that day one, it was really like serious training because I had to train him how to talk to me.
One of the greatest challenges of being an entrepreneur is financial management. We start off, many people start off because we want to create a business or follow a passion. But if we don't really understand the dollars, if we don't understand the profit and loss, we don't understand cash flow, balance sheets, we are so sunk. The reality is, most of us just go with what we know. We go with what's in our pocket or on our credit cards or our families or friends. But we need to be able to not only plan out what it's going to cost. The reality is, more often than not, our business doesn't take off the way we expect it to.
Why boxing? Friends, family, like everybody, colleagues, that's what, boxing? Why boxing? You're so pretty. I said, I know, and I'm gonna maintain my pretty.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be real fun. Finally.
Finally.
This is beautiful.
You like it? I'm Reese Scott, founder of Women's World of Boxing. This is my everything. It was in my head. Women's World of Boxing is the first women's boxing gym in New York City. I started boxing 15 years ago. I was working in corporate, and I was a creative director. It had become something that I no longer loved. I was in a place where I really just felt numb. I listened to how I felt. I went for a walk a few blocks from my office, and I saw the sign. Every step, it got closer and closer to this godforsaken stench. I was like, what is that smell? So when I walked past the gym, I could hear the growls and everything. Guys on the back, bah, 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 bah. And I'm just like, let me go and see what it's about. When I walked in, I just kind of froze because there were no women in there. And they turned around and they looked and it just got real quiet. And I was like, oh. I said, I'm gonna give it 30 days. I'm gonna see if I feel anything. So I signed up, and when I signed up, I went over to, you know, my trainer. I was like, okay, now what? He's like, oh, I gotta train that bitch. All right, fine. Go over there and get your fat ass on the treadmill. I was like, oh, damn. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is what it is. So from that day one, it was really like serious training because I had to train him how to talk to me. I got deeper into learning and discovering my voice. And I became addicted to standing up for myself through this sport. I realized I need to learn so I can teach. I need to learn so I can share. I need to learn so I can get more women in this gym. So those women that I pass on the street that have that same numb look in their eye that I had, I could maybe help them through this sport. Every day I would hear, this is a man's world. You don't belong here. Women don't belong in boxing gyms. I said, I need you to help me understand why you guys have such a hard time with women being in the gym. Because you're a distraction. I said, is that it? I said, I'm not distracted by anybody here because I'm here for me. And that was the beginning of me bringing women into the gym. I actually had a few friends that were like, hey, you know, you've been boxing, you look great, you look like you know what you're doing. You want to train us? And I said, absolutely. And from there, it was like 2, 4, 20, 30, I took over the gym. Of course, it became a problem because I was the only trainer that was busy in the gym. All the male trainers were sitting on the bench and they just like, hey, this and shit. And I just kind of went with it. I knew in that moment that it wasn't just gonna be a business, but it was gonna be my life. And from then it was like, okay, publishing, I'm done. The rest of the time is gonna be devoted to everything women's world of boxing. When I opened up Women's World of Boxing in East Harlem in February of 2018, that was the most surreal moment of my life. To be able to provide a safe space for women, that's everything. Because I know the fights that they're fighting. For them to feel safe, for them to feel respected, for them to feel seen. There's no limit to how strong a woman could be. It's the one place where it's their world. It's a dream.
Coming up next on About Her Business.
I go above and beyond for my customers because I realize that without them, there would be no me. And I don't take that lightly at all.
I think perseverance is absolutely critical. I think humility is very important as well. Anyone who has the ability to really get back up after a letdown and continue to move forward, that skill set is critical because you're capable of succeeding as long as you stay in the game. Once you get out of the game, it's impossible to succeed in it. So I think being persistent, I think being diligent, I think being humble, because there will be many times where being in business will humble you. And I think sometimes we, again, exude this notion of success before we've actually attained it. And then we feel uncomfortable or bound by what it means for us to be successful, even though we're not there, and it makes it harder for us to ask people for help. So humility in this is very, very important.
Candles? Who's gonna be successful off of candles? The advice that I would give any woman before they jump into business is to put your pride aside, drop your ego, and do not be afraid to ask for help. My name is Denequa Clarke, and I am the founder of Lit Brooklyn. Lit Brooklyn is a luxury fragrance company. I named my company Lit Brooklyn because Brooklyn is lit, not to be cliche, but I also wanted to pay homage to the city that raised me. The love for candles came when I was in college, honestly. I used to go to the store and I used to spend my whole check on candles. And it wasn't until I came back home after graduating that I was thinking of things that I should do, and candles just came to the top of the list. I love the way how having a candle lit in an ambiance makes you feel, and I wanted to create that experience for other people. Being that my father was an entrepreneur with business, I did not want to go into his business. He had a shipping company. So I wanted to do something that I thought would be a little bit more fun. And I was like, I should start a candle company. Prior to starting Lit Brooklyn, I was working in retail. There is no real reason I quit my job other than I no longer felt like it fed my soul. My initial conversation with my husband when I was starting a business was very encouraging. Kyrie is my #1 supporter with anything that I'm doing, even if he does not know how I'm going to get it done. To get my business up and running, I actually got a small loan from my father. He gave me $1,000 to buy supplies. When I got the money for the investment for my company, I had no idea what I was doing. There were plenty of moments where I felt discouraged. Every day I would get up and try again. I tried different jars, I tried different waxes, different fragrances, different ratios. So about 6 months. And then in December of 2015, I launched Lit Brooklyn. When I initially launched, people were very supportive. My candles were $42, and I found myself not having a lot of repeat customers. So I had to go back to the drawing board and find something that was cost effective for my customers, because I knew I wanted to offer something, but having one-off customers is not how you scale a business. So I changed the jars, and I also offered a different size. And with that, I was still able to offer the same quality of candle at a lower price, and people loved that. Some of the biggest compliments I received since I launched my brand was how amazing the scents are. I've also received compliments on my customer service, which I think is very important if you want to sustain a brand. I go above and beyond for my customers because I realize that without them, there would be no me, and I don't take that lightly at all. About a year into my launch, my father actually passed away. I think that if he was alive, he would be super proud, and he would know that everything that he taught me, whether he knew he was teaching me or not, I definitely instill into my business, which is that you have to be a woman of your word, and you have to continue to distribute a quality product. This is the most fulfilling thing that I've done in my life. I'm paying it forward. I am inspiring women my age. I'm inspiring Black girls my age. I'm inspiring the world by just being fearless. My plans to expand Lit Brooklyn, I'm trying to go international. I want my own brick and mortar in about 2 years. It's only gonna be one Lit Brooklyn store, and it's gonna be in Brooklyn. I want it to be a tourist attraction. I want it to be a place where people can come and be inspired, leave inspired, and create the next big thing.
On the way.
I asked my hairdresser to give me this sleek, straight look, and she did. When I washed my hair the next day, it all fell out, including my edges. What makes women's hair, Black hair specifically, unique is the fact that it's a bit deceiving. It curls, it straightens, it looks full, but it's very, very fragile. So often when people are styling natural hair, they add too much heat, they add too much tension, and it really damages the hair follicle in addition to the hair itself at the ends. My name is Eve Carmon Perouse, and I am CEO and founder of Creole Essence. Creole Essence makes natural and organic products with ingredients from Haiti. We focus on formulating for those with dry hair, dry skin, and textured hair. Creole Essence offers hair, skin, and body products, from shampoos, conditioners, to our secret weapon, Haitian black castor oil, as well as Haitian moringa oil. I started Creole Essence after having what I call a hair catastrophe. I was going to an event and I wanted to look my best. I asked my hairdresser to give me this sleek, straight look, and she did. When I washed my hair the next day, it all fell out, including my edges. It dawned on me that there was an oil that my mom used when I was growing up that solved all of our problems. If your hair was dry, your scalp was dry, we really used it for everything. She didn't even want to send it to me because it's so rare. So she sent it to me, and when I received it, it was in a rum bottle with tape all over it. And I said to her, how could we need the liquid gold of the Caribbean, and this is how it comes? I thought, let me go to the store and see if I can get this in an easier manner. When I went to the stores, what I found were products with hexane, bleach, and other additives, even coloring to make it look like real black castor oil. And that made me upset. That's when we decided Creole Essence would begin. The next steps was for us to go to Haiti. The biggest challenge was getting the women to trust me. I sat there for hours and learned about the process of making Haitian black castor oil. Step 2 was getting the black castor oil into the United States. We went to a conference and pulled out the castor oil from our bags and started to ask folks, is this something that you would be interested in purchasing? To our surprise, people were elated, and that's really when we decided to focus on growing and scaling Creole Essence. As the business continues to grow, Haiti suffered from a devastating earthquake. And at that moment, I said, you know what? We need to put the business on pause. We need to help with relief work. My colleagues and I, we raised hundreds and thousands of dollars to try to help mitigate some of the issues that were happening in Haiti. A year after, my mom said to me, if you're thinking about a long-term approach to helping Haiti, you need to create work. At that moment, I realized I needed to start the business up again. After starting the business again, we were having challenges. Our investors were getting edgy. I called my mom once again. She said, have you heard of a place called Whole Foods? Let's have lunch there. I walked through the aisle and I noticed that there was an oil there that wasn't real black castor oil. Immediately, I asked to speak to the buyer. And from there, we struck up a conversation. We talked about Creole Essence, what we were doing in Haiti. Most importantly, I had her smell it. Once she did, she said, you're in. And that was the first store that we got into, and now we're in over 350 stores. For me, there's no purpose in life if you're not helping someone else. Every person who purchases from Creole Essence, we call them tribe members because we're a big tribe and we're also job creators, and we're excited by that. When I go back to Haiti and I see how excited the women are to see me, to say, show me that bottle of castor oil again, or show me that bottle of moringa oil, because they can't believe that something that they created is being presented in such a beautiful manner.